What's up, everybody? You're back with Text My Ex. I'm Esmarie, and today the shot that we're going to do is called a Snickers shot. Now, me personally, I'm not a huge fan of sweets. You guys know this, but I do love me a Snickers every once in a while. So obviously, I wanted to try the shot. It's pretty simple, per usual. You just need a little bit of Frangelico, some Kahlua, and you can use Bailey's or any Irish cream that you can find. You will need a spoon because it is a layered shot. So first, you're going to start off with your Kahlua. I don't know why I just used the spoon to layer something that didn't need to be layered. Don't mind me, guys. Okay, so you're gonna just do a regular 2 count of the Kahlua. Then you're gonna incorporate the spoon. And then you're gonna do your Frangelico second. Let me move this out the way. Pour it very slowly. Remember, anytime you do a layered shot, you wanna do it extra slow. Because I'm dripping it out, it's kind of hard to tell when you're doing like a 2 count. So you just kind of eyeball it. Obviously, you want all the layers to be pretty equal. You're gonna top it off with Irish cream. So, as you can see, I'll try to give you an up close. You can see the 3 layers. All right, now sometimes you can top it off with a little mini Snickers if you want to, give it a little bit of aesthetic. I'm not doing all that, but I'm excited to try it, so cheers. Oh, wow, that's good. Ooh, that's good. Even though it's a layered shot, I would almost say you could just put it all in a shaker. Because if you didn't notice, when I put it in my mouth, I swished it around a little bit to kind of combine all the flavors. It's very, very good. Easy, quick, tastes like a little sweet Snickers. And yeah. If you want to try it, go ask a bartender if they have these 3 things, or you could just make it at home and impress some of your friends. But let's get to our next text. Ow! Son of a bitch, bro. Oh my God.
Blooper, so I definitely hit my shin. I used to hit my shin all the time when I played soccer for 9 or 12 years. Oh, I can't even talk right now. All right, so we have got a text that was sent in, and all it says in the title is story time. So I have no idea what we're getting into, but we're gonna dive in. When I was a freshman in college around winter break, I was talking to one of my good friends from middle school. She asked me to come visit her at school since I was back home. We never had a thing or anything, literally just friends. So I went to visit her, and meanwhile, going into my visit, we were Skyping, and she invited me to join her group chat with her friends on Skype. I joined. That was the first mistake that I made. We all laughed and talked since we couldn't wait to see each other. Her roommate added me to be her friend directly, and me not thinking, just thought, okay, she wanted me to be friends since I'll be staying with them. No big deal. So the day of my visit, they decided that they wanted to go out to a party, which I was cool with doing. Once we were all ready, everyone's taking pics before we head out, and she asks me, can I take a pic with her? I agreed again, thinking this is just a friendly thing. I put my arm over her shoulder and my friend took the pic. We go out drinking, everyone's kind of spread out but close, and we drink, eat, and go back to their dorms. Once we get back, we all have a blast laughing and playing Never Have I Ever. Then we decided we're gonna go to bed. I get on the couch and she comes in taking her top off and was like, I hope that these don't bother you, as she's getting ready for bed. I turned over and was like, I could have just waited if you needed to change, just to be a gentleman about it. She says, no, it's cool, it's just boobs. I'd be lying if I said I didn't do that around guys I didn't give a shit about. Like, I'd be like, okay, they're just boobs, but that's because I had no interest, but I don't know, let's see where this goes. Next morning, I was going back home and she asked for a hug, just like all my roommate's friends did. And she was like, I got a while before I have class, can I walk you to the train? We walked and just said that we had a good time and we all should hang out again. I told her how it'd be a while, but maybe during summer vacation we could all chill. No sooner than I got on the train did my Facebook light up on my phone and I had a friend request. I accepted. Then she tagged me in the picture that we had taken together. She edited the picture and had put in the cloud like wording that said, I swear I always fall for your type. At that point, I called my friend and asked what the fuck was up with the girl, and she told me she really liked me and hadn't stopped talking about me. I untagged myself from the picture. Then she kept Skyping me, blowing me up. I get a random text and I responded, "Who is this?" She told me who it was, and I asked how she got my number, and she told me she got it from my friend's phone, which she didn't think was a big deal. Okay, what? She forced conversations, and I told her she's really nice, but I was interested in someone else. Fast forward to summer, I'm with the girl that I wanted to be with, and we're out downtown of the city that we lived in. I could have sworn I was being followed or watched. You know, the feeling that you get when you can feel someone staring at you? Yeah, that one. Then I get a call from my old roommate. She tells me that so-and-so is downtown and is following you. I decided to walk off and get to my car. I get my date to come with me, and I take back roads to my house. I noticed the car basically following me too, so I tell my date that I'm about to speed and just hold on. I made some turns enough to get away to lose her and get to my house without her knowing where I lived. When I realized that I lost her, later that day, I get a text and she says, "Hey, I think I saw you today. Were you downtown? Was that the girl that you like? She's cute." I told her I know she was following me and to lose my number. She said I wanted to give you something and I blocked her. The same day that I blocked her, I get a message from my roommate that I lived with in the dorms that said, "What's up, man?" I said, "What's up?" He responded with, "Whatever happened to the girl that you were talking to?" And I said, "I'm with her now, we're dating." And then he went into, "No, that's not her." But I never told him about any other girl. He goes, "She was short, long black hair." I said, "Chubby?" ? His response was, "Yeah." That's when I told him she was just my best friend's roommate. I called him to see what was going on, and he goes, "I didn't message you." What? At that point, I realized when I was at their dorm, I signed into Netflix on her MacBook, and that his email and password for Facebook is the same as his Netflix. She had signed into his Facebook from his Netflix and was messaging me and trying to get info. I had a feeling, but I'm like, damn, for someone to go to this extent, like, that's crazy. She had went quiet a couple days and I hadn't blocked her on Facebook for whatever reason, I don't remember, but I messaged her. "You really hacked into my boy's Facebook to ask about you? Like, you're a mental case, and lose my shit. Don't message me ever again. I'm basically dead to you and you are to me." She goes, "You could have said curvy, not chubby." And then goes, "But that's okay. You're dead to me, then you'll be dead to me. If I can't have you, no one can." She didn't strike a nerve or put fear in a bone in my body, because she was all of 4'9" and I'm over 6 foot. However, I went outside to my mailbox and I'm grabbing mail and I see this car go by fast and close, and I realized it was her. It spun around and came back. My mom came off the porch and let 2 shots go at her, and she kept going. My neighbor who saw the whole thing called the police, and we got a restraining order against her. I hope that she got some help that she needed, but it's been quiet for a few years now. But yeah, that's the story of a crazy best friend's roommate who was obsessed with me. P.S. For legal reasons, all I ask is that if you use this, just don't mention the names. LOL. Yes, for legal reasons, I never put names. That's just something that I won't do. Everything is always going to be anonymous.
See, now what's crazy is that when you had made the comment about like, "Oh, I'm not worried about her, she's all 4'9" or whatever it was, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, yeah, but your little 6 foot ass can't block a bullet. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter how short she is, how tiny she is. Don't take them crazies. Don't underestimate them, because they are fully capable. And when I wanted to be a forensic psychologist and I was watching nothing but documentaries and the ID channel and, you know, stuff that was true stories, I'm like, listen, you can't underestimate nobody. And so when you're dealing with a crazy like that, you got to move a different way. Obviously, I'm glad that your mom popped off and was like, "Listen, we ain't about to play these games over here." I don't know where you're from, but I know that, for instance, when I was back in St. Louis, yeah, you couldn't play that shit. You just couldn't. So that's really wild. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had anyone that obsessed with me. And it happens all the time, though. You know, you've got these people that have these, deep rooted traumas that cause them to just act irrationally. And sometimes it's like when they don't get their way, they just see red and they zone in and get so focused on something, and they obsess and they get possessive. And it is scary, you know, these situations happen all the time, but it's not something that happens all the time to one person. Thankfully, knock on wood, you know, I'm blessed that's never happened to me, but for people like you that have had this rarity of a situation happen to you and someone takes it that far, it is kind of unfortunate because for a little bit, you know, you kind of have your head on a swivel. You know, you don't want to live your life in fear, of course, but you still, people do crazy things. And so, yeah, that's a pretty crazy story. Luckily, you know, it's been some time and she's left it alone. And it was just maybe that little time and space where she couldn't accept that rejection. Rejection is not easy for some people. Some people are mature, confident, they don't give a fuck. And then some people, they literally obsess over that one rejection and it turns to this. So, and then I just want to say on a sidebar, I know people go to crazy extents to be able to contact someone or find information. You know, my sister, listen, shout out to my sister because she a whole FBI agent, but she a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how she figures out the shit that she figures out, but like, I gotta give props. But my sister's not crazy. She's just good at what she does. But like, why spend this much time and try to go to this extent to do what you're gonna do to find out the information or to contact that person? Because when you do eventually contact that person, they're not going to want you now knowing that you did all this crazy stuff just to get in touch with them. That's what I don't understand behind the logic of people that do the most. It's because like once you've done the most, now that person is going to be even more unattracted to you. You had a better chance of getting them back by just pretending like you don't give a fuck. And that's just my interpretation of life. You don't got to listen to me. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. Thank you for sending that in. I love stories like that because I ain't never had to deal with that shit. So if you want to send in anything like this and you enjoyed this, go ahead and send it in. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Come back for the next Text My Ex.